Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. What would your life look like 1 year from now if you made the decision today to fully commit? Not halfway, not sometimes, not when you feel like it. I'm talking about full, unwavering commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Who do you want to become? This question is at the heart of any transformation. Most people go through life reacting to circumstances, drifting from one situation to another without a clear sense of purpose or direction. But if you want to change your life, if you want to build a future you can be proud of, the first step is making a decision about who you want to become. It's not enough to wish for success, happiness, or growth. You have to decide. That decision is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Deciding who you want to become requires introspection. It's about understanding your values, your dreams, and your purpose. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be when I wake up every morning? What do I want to stand for? How do I want to be remembered? This is not about pleasing others or living up to societal expectations. It's about discovering what truly matters to you. Too often, people chase after goals that aren't aligned with their authentic selves, only to feel unfulfilled when they achieve them. That's why clarity is so essential. You need to define what success means to you personally. Start by visualizing the future you. Picture yourself a year from now, 5 years, even 10 years down the road. What does that version of you look like? How do they carry themselves? What kind of habits do they have? What are they passionate about? What kind of impact do they have on the people around them? This exercise isn't about fantasizing, it's about creating a mental blueprint. When you can see that version of yourself clearly in your mind, you give your brain something to work toward. It becomes your North Star, guiding your actions and decisions. But deciding who you want to become isn't just about envisioning the ideal. It's also about confronting your current reality. You have to be honest with yourself about where you are right now. What habits, beliefs, or behaviors are holding you back? What patterns have kept you stuck in the same place year after year? This kind of self-awareness can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. The good news is, once you've identified the gaps between where you are and where you want to be, you can start taking steps to close them. When you've made the decision about who you want to become, you start to notice a shift. Every choice you make begins to carry more weight. You're no longer acting out of impulse or habit. You're acting with intention. You start to ask yourself, does this decision align with the person I'm becoming? If the answer is no, you have the power to make a different choice. This intentionality is what separates people who grow from those who stay stagnant. Transformation isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small, consistent choice moves you closer to your vision. Deciding who you want to become also means accepting responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck for where you are right now. But the truth is, no one else is coming to save you. No one else can make the decision to change your life. It has to come from within. When you take ownership of your future, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your destiny. This decision isn't a one-time event. It's something you have to recommit to every single day. There will be times when you doubt yourself, when the obstacles seem too great, or when you feel tempted to fall back into old patterns. That's when you have to remind yourself why you started. Keep your vision in front of you, write it down, speak it aloud, or create a vision board. Whatever it takes to keep that future version of yourself alive in your mind. I promise you, on this next division, all of your previous self-doubt will leave you. I promise you, on this next vision, you will have everything you need, because the clearer you are about who you want to become, the easier it will be to make choices that align with that vision. When you decide who you want to become, you're giving yourself permission to dream bigger. You're saying, I am worthy of this. I am capable of this. I am committed to this. That decision sets the tone for everything that follows. It's the spark that ignites the fire of transformation. Monroe Deal. Breaking down your goals is one of the most powerful strategies for achieving success. It's easy to look at a big dream or vision and feel overwhelmed by its size, but when you take the time to break it into smaller, manageable pieces, you transform something daunting into something achievable. The truth is, no major accomplishment happens all at once. It's the result of consistent effort over time, and that effort becomes more effective when you have a clear plan for how to tackle it. Setting bigger goals rather than getting discouraged when you have a clear plan for how to tackle it. The first step in breaking down your goals is identifying the bigger picture. What exactly do you want to achieve? Be specific. Vague goals like I want to be successful or I want to get in shape don't give you a clear direction. Instead, refine those goals into something measurable, like I want to increase my income by 20%, or I want to lose 15 pounds. The more specific you are, the easier it becomes to chart a path toward success. Once you've defined your larger goal, the next step is to break it into smaller milestones. Think of these milestones as checkpoints along the way. If your goal is to write a book, for example, one milestone might be to outline the chapters. Another might be to write the first draft of one chapter. Breaking it down this way helps you see that even the biggest projects are simply a series of smaller tasks strung together. When you focus on these smaller pieces, the goal feels less intimidating and more within reach. Time management plays a critical role in this process. After breaking down your goal into milestones, assign a realistic timeline to each one. By setting deadlines for yourself, you create a sense of urgency and accountability. Without deadlines, it's easy to procrastinate or lose focus. But when you know you have a specific task to complete by a certain date, you're more likely to stay on track. It's important, however, to be flexible. Life happens, and sometimes things won't go according to plan. The key is to adjust your timeline without losing sight of the bigger picture. Breaking down your goals also means identifying the daily or weekly actions required to reach each milestone. These are the small, consistent steps that move you forward. For instance, if your goal is to improve your physical health, your daily actions might include exercising for 30 minutes, drinking more water, and preparing healthy meals. These tasks might seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they compound to produce meaningful results. Success isn't about making one big leap. It's about taking consistent, intentional steps every single day. One of the benefits of breaking down your goals is that it helps you measure progress. When you're working toward a big dream, it's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere, especially if the end result is still far away. But when you have smaller milestones and daily actions to track, you can see how far you've come. This sense of progress is incredibly motivating. It reminds you that your efforts are paying off and gives you the energy to keep going. Another important aspect of breaking down your goals is identifying potential obstacles and creating a plan to overcome them. No matter how well you prepare, challenges are inevitable. By anticipating these challenges ahead of time, You can develop strategies to navigate them without losing momentum. If you know that time management is a struggle for you, for example, you might decide to set aside specific blocks of time each day to work on your goals. If self-doubt is a recurring issue, you might choose to surround yourself with supportive people who encourage and uplift you. Preparing for these obstacles ensures that you stay focused even when things get tough. Breaking down your goals also allows you to celebrate your progress along the way. Too often, people wait until they've achieved the final result to feel a sense of accomplishment, but every milestone you reach is a reason to celebrate. Recognizing these small wins keeps you motivated and reminds you of how much you're capable of achieving. It's a way of affirming that the process matters just as much as the outcome. By breaking your goals into smaller parts, you create a roadmap for success. You give yourself a clear path to follow, which reduces stress and increases focus. This process makes even the most ambitious goals feel manageable because you're no longer looking at the entire mountain. You're focusing on the next step. When you approach your goals this way, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. And when you focus on behavioral finance, everything in your life becomes easier. You're spending time on the smaller mountains, you're not spending time on the great one. Discipline is the foundation of lasting success, far more reliable than motivation. While motivation can inspire you in the short term, it is fleeting. It's easy to feel motivated when you're excited or when the circumstances are favorable, but motivation often fades when challenges arise or when the excitement wears off. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. It is the commitment to your goals and principles, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The key difference between discipline and motivation is consistency. Motivation is like a spark. It ignites a fire, but it doesn't sustain it. Discipline is the fuel that keeps that fire burning. It's what drives you to wake up early, go to the gym, or stay focused on your work, even on days when you feel tired or uninspired. Discipline doesn't rely on emotions or external factors. It is rooted in habit and self-control. It pushes you to take action, not because it feels good, but because it's necessary to achieve your goals. Building discipline starts with small, intentional steps. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't require a massive overhaul of your life all at once. Instead, it's about creating habits that align with your long-term vision. Start by identifying the actions you need to take regularly to reach your goals. Then commit to doing them consistently, no matter what. For example, if you want to become healthier, begin by committing to exercise 3 times a week or cutting out sugary drinks. These small steps may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they build momentum and create a foundation of discipline. One of the most effective ways to develop discipline is to eliminate the need for constant decision-making. When you create routines and systems, you reduce the mental energy required to stay on track. For instance, if you're trying to save money, automate your savings so that a portion of your paycheck goes directly into a savings account. If you want to write a book, set aside the same time every day to write, regardless of how you feel. By removing the question of whether or not you should act, you make it easier to stay disciplined. Discipline also requires a shift in mindset. It's about focusing on the long-term benefits of your actions rather than the short-term discomfort. This means learning to delay gratification and prioritize your future self over your present impulses. It's not always easy. There will be times when you want to take the easy way out, But discipline is what reminds you of why you started in the first place. It keeps you anchored to your goals and prevents you from being swayed by temporary feelings or distractions. Another important aspect of discipline is accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a sense of responsibility for your actions. This could mean tracking your progress, setting deadlines, or sharing your goals with someone you trust. Accountability adds a layer of commitment that keeps you disciplined, especially when the initial motivation starts to fade. It reminds you that your actions have consequences and that you are in control of your choices. Discipline is also about resilience. It's about showing up and putting in the work even when the results aren't immediate. Success rarely happens overnight, and there will be times when your efforts seem to go unnoticed. But discipline teaches you to trust the process and stay consistent, knowing that the results will come if you remain committed. It's about understanding that every small step forward is progress, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Discipline is about understanding that every small step forward is progress, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Discipline allows you to build confidence and self-respect. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are capable and reliable. This sense of self-trust creates a positive cycle. The more disciplined you are, the more confident you become. And the more confident you are, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Over time, discipline becomes not just a tool for achieving your goals, but a part of who you are. It shapes your identity and transforms your life in ways that motivation alone never could. The people you surround yourself with have an immense impact on your mindset, habits, and overall trajectory in life. If you want to grow, improve, and ultimately succeed, one of the most important decisions you'll make is choosing who you allow into your inner circle. Surrounding yourself with excellence doesn't just mean associating with those who are successful on paper. It means seeking out individuals who challenge, inspire, and elevate you to be the best version of yourself. The right people can push you to greater heights, while the wrong ones can hold you back, either consciously or unconsciously. Iran's top recruits, engineers, mechanics, and man. When you surround yourself with excellence, you place yourself in an environment that fosters growth and ambition. Excellence isn't just about achieving a specific goal, it's a mindset. It's a commitment to continuous improvement, relentless pursuit of knowledge, and the refusal to accept mediocrity. By choosing to spend time with individuals who embody this mindset, you are essentially choosing to adopt it as your own. Their standards become your standards, and their drive becomes your motivation. The people you interact with on a daily basis influence the way you think, speak, and act. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity or complacency, you're likely to adopt similar attitudes. On the other hand, if you are surrounded by those who are disciplined, focused, and passionate about what they do, you will begin to mirror these behaviors. Excellence is contagious. When you see others striving for greatness and excelling in their pursuits, it's a powerful reminder that you are capable of doing the same. You start to expect more from yourself because the people around you expect more from themselves. Being in the presence of excellence also opens up opportunities for growth. You can learn a tremendous amount simply by observing how others operate at a high level. Whether it's their work ethic, decision-making, or ability to overcome challenges, there is much to be gained from their experiences. These individuals can offer insights and wisdom that you may not have access to on your own. They may introduce you to new perspectives, ideas, or opportunities that you hadn't considered, and through their guidance, you can accelerate your own personal growth. Surrounding yourself with excellence often means that you are exposed to higher expectations. People who are committed to excellence don't tolerate mediocrity, and being around them pushes you to raise your own standards. You start to see what is possible when you aim for greatness rather than settling for good enough. Whether it's in your career, your health, or your relationships, you begin to expect more from yourself and take greater responsibility for your actions. Excellence is not just a way of thinking, it's a way of living. When you surround yourself with people who embody this, you naturally begin to operate at a higher level. But it's not just about being around the right people. It's also about being willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. It's essential to evaluate the people in your life and assess whether they contribute to your journey or hinder it. There's a saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and while this may seem like an exaggeration, there is truth to it. If your closest relationships are with people who are content with where they are and don't challenge themselves to be better, you might find yourself complacent as well. It's not about judging others or cutting people off, but about being intentional with where you invest your time and energy. If you want to elevate yourself, you need to be mindful of who you surround yourself with. Excellence is not about competition, it's about collaboration. Surrounding yourself with those who excel doesn't mean you're competing against them. Instead, it means you're working together toward mutual success. There is power in being part of a group of like-minded individuals who support and encourage each other. Excellence thrives in environments where people share knowledge, offer feedback, and hold each other accountable. This creates a dynamic of collective success, where everyone pushes one another to reach their highest potential. When you surround yourself with excellence, you develop a deeper sense of purpose and drive. You begin to see that success is not about luck or chance. It's the result of hard work, discipline, and the willingness to never settle. By keeping company with people who embody these qualities, you're constantly reminded of the value of perseverance, dedication, and excellence. You learn that your dreams are within reach, but only if you're willing to put in the effort to make them a reality. Number 2, in doing so, you align yourself with those who inspire you to live up to your highest potential and reach for greatness. Staying focused and trusting the process are 2 essential components of success that often go hand in hand. In a world filled with distractions, it is easy to become overwhelmed or discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as we expect them to. However, maintaining focus and trusting the journey is what separates those who ultimately achieve their goals from those who give up halfway through. Focus is about keeping your attention on what truly matters, and trusting the process means understanding that success doesn't always come overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. In our fast-pacing world, distractions are everywhere. From social media to daily responsibilities, it's easy to get sidetracked or lose sight of your long-term objectives. However, focus is the key to overcoming these distractions and staying on track. It's about narrowing your attention to what is important and blocking out the noise. The first step in staying focused is knowing exactly what your goals are. If you are unclear about your destination, it becomes much harder to stay focused on the necessary steps to get there. When you define your goals clearly and set specific milestones, you provide yourself with a clear path to follow, making it easier to stay focused. Once your goals are in place, staying focused becomes a matter of daily discipline. It's about showing up each day, putting in the effort, and doing the work, even when it seems like nothing is happening. It's tempting to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. After all, we live in a society that values instant gratification. But the truth is, real success takes time. Whether it's building a business, getting in shape, or learning a new skill, the results are often gradual. Progress is made one small step at a time, and that's why it's so important to stay focused on the process rather than fixating on the end result. This is where trust in the process comes into play. Trusting the process means having faith that if you put in the necessary work, the results will eventually come. It's about understanding that success is a journey, not a destination. In the early stages, you may not see the immediate payoff, but each step you take, no matter how small, is part of the larger picture. Trusting the process allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road seems long or when setbacks occur. It's about believing in the work you're putting in and knowing that every effort counts, even if it doesn't feel significant at the moment. In many cases, it's easy to get impatient or discouraged when things don't move as quickly as we hope. We might start to doubt ourselves or question whether our efforts are making a difference. However, this is where the power of trust comes in. When you trust the process, you stop obsessing over immediate results and instead focus on the long-term journey. You understand that progress is often invisible in the short term. It's only by looking back after months or even years that you'll realize how far you've come. The key is to stay committed and keep doing the work, even when the rewards don't seem immediately apparent. Another crucial aspect of staying focused and trusting the process is managing setbacks. No journey to success is free of obstacles, and it's easy to lose focus or become discouraged when things don't go according to plan. But setbacks are a natural part of any process, and they often provide valuable lessons. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, try to see them as opportunities for growth. Every time you face a challenge, you're presented with a choice. You can either get distracted and give up, or you can use the setback as a stepping stone to learn and improve. By maintaining focus and trusting that the process is unfolding as it should, you can weather these challenges and come out stronger on the other side. The power of focus and trust is also amplified when you surround yourself with people who support your journey. Having a network of like-minded individuals who understand the value of persistence and focus can help you stay motivated. They can remind you to keep your eyes on the prize and not be swayed by temporary frustrations. Furthermore, when you share your struggles and successes with others who are also committed to the process, you create a sense of accountability and community that strengthens your resolve. Staying focused and trusting the process is about developing resilience. It's about keeping your eye on the prize and continuing to work toward your goals, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. It's about understanding that success doesn't happen overnight, and that the road to achieving your dreams is filled with challenges, setbacks, and hard work. The process looks like sleeping in 7 games in the prairie country someday. By staying focused on the task at hand and trusting the process, you build the resilience necessary to weather the storm and ultimately achieve the success you desire. God bless, and God with you. Taking the time to reflect on your journey and celebrate the progress you've made is an essential, yet often overlooked, part of personal growth and success. We often get so caught up in the pursuit of our goals, in the hustle and grind of everyday life, that we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. Whenever I get back to myself, I realize just how far we've come. Reflection and celebration are not just about patting yourself on the back or taking a break. They're vital practices that help reinforce the importance of the effort you've put in and the milestones you've achieved. When you pause to reflect on your progress, you gain a deeper understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and the lessons you've learned along the way, which ultimately allows you to move forward with even more clarity and purpose. Reflection provides the space to gain perspective on the journey you've undertaken. It allows you to assess where you started, where you are now, and how much you've grown throughout the process. This doesn't just mean looking at the end results. It's about understanding the small steps, challenges, and decisions that have led you to this point. End quote. Reflection helps you recognize the value of the process itself, the growth, the setbacks, the lessons learned, and allows you to appreciate the effort you've put in. When you take the time to reflect, you understand that success isn't just about crossing the finish line. It's about the person you've become along the way. Celebrating progress, no matter how small, is equally important. When we focus too much on the destination, it's easy to overlook the importance of the journey. Celebrating the progress you've made, whether it's reaching a personal milestone or simply sticking to your daily routine, reinforces the effort and dedication you've shown. Celebrating progress serves as a reminder of the commitment you've made to yourself, your goals, and your growth. Celebrating progress serves as a reminder of the commitment you've made to yourself, your goals, and your growth. Every small achievement deserves recognition because it represents a step closer to the bigger vision you have for your life. When you celebrate, you build confidence and motivation, fueling your desire to keep moving forward. The act of celebrating progress can take many forms. It might involve treating yourself to something special, sharing your achievements with those who support you, or simply taking a moment to pause and appreciate how far you've come. These celebrations don't have to be extravagant. The key is to acknowledge your hard work and the progress you've made. This helps to create positive reinforcement, turning progress into a source of joy and satisfaction, rather than a distant, abstract goal. Additionally, reflection and celebration provide a sense of momentum. Often, when we set goals, we focus solely on the outcome, the end result we are working toward. But the truth is, the path to achieving any goal is rarely linear. There are obstacles, setbacks, and challenges along the way. Taking time to reflect on how you've navigated these challenges and how far you've come reminds you that even when progress seems slow or difficult, you are still moving forward. Each milestone, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience, your commitment, and your ability to overcome adversity. Reflecting and celebrating allows you to acknowledge the distance you've traveled, keeping you motivated to keep going. Moreover, reflecting on your progress helps you understand what's working and what isn't. It gives you the chance to identify the strategies, behaviors, or habits that have contributed to your success and those that may be hindering your growth. Reflection isn't just about congratulating yourself, it's about learning. When you reflect, you can make adjustments to your approach, tweak your methods, and realign your actions with your goals. This ensures that you continue to evolve and make progress in a more intentional and effective way. Reflection and celebration are also important for maintaining a healthy sense of self-worth. Too often, we judge our worth based on the distance between where we are and where we want to be, overlooking the fact that the journey itself has value. Reflecting on your progress helps you realize that every step you take, even if it doesn't seem significant at the time, adds value to who you are. Celebrating that progress reinforces the idea that you are worthy of success, recognition, and self-compassion, regardless of how far you've come or how much further you have to go. Reflecting on your progress and celebrating the steps you've taken is a way of honoring the effort, commitment, and growth that have led you to this point. It reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed, keeps you motivated, and reminds you that progress is not always about the destination. It's about who you become on the journey. By taking the time to celebrate your victories, no matter how small, you stay energized, focused, and driven to continue moving toward your goals. So don't wait until you've reached the finish line to acknowledge your efforts. Take time along the way to reflect, celebrate, and honor the progress you've made, knowing that each step forward is an important part of your story.